Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Welcome to Super Breakfast Friends Club. It's Saturday.
No, it's not.
It's not for us, but it is for you, the listener. Unless you've chosen not to listen to it on release day. In which case, I don't know what day it is.
Good starting segment.
We've made a right mess of things. Play the theme song.
We've made a grievous mistake.
We've come back to the most requested show. Everybody always wants us to do more Yokai Watch, and we haven't done it for like 2 years.
I don't understand. Why are there all 10 Yokai Watch fans at our doorstep?
Because Yokai Watch, here's the thing about Yokai Watch. They basically like cancelled it outside of Japan because it wasn't popular enough. But it's not that it wasn't popular. It's just that it wasn't Pokemon popular. And you know about CEOs and their, if they don't bring out the first episode and it's not instantly doing as well as episode 700 of Pokemon, they're gonna go, hang on a minute, I didn't pay for this.
Where's my infinity dollars?
Yeah, I was assured that this would make the same amount of money as Pokemon does in 20 years by 1 week from today. It's not going to happen.
No.
Nothing's ever going to be as successful as Pokemon, I don't think. I just don't think the world has it in us for another Pokemon.
Think when we're dead and buried, there will be something that will finally topple the Pokemon Empire.
You think?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine what it would be, but I guess that's the whole thing.
I guess that's how time works.
I mean, if I could imagine what would be more successful than Pokemon, then I could make it.
No, it wouldn't work now.
Oh, it would have to be in the future?
Yeah.
I see what you mean.
You'll get buried if you try it now.
Maybe it will be Yokai Watch, but just it was too early.
It won't.
Yeah, okay. It's going to be something really stupid that we can't even conceive of.
You say that, but I feel like it's going to be something like Dracula and Frankenstein are friends. It's going to be Monster High dolls, but Dracula and Frankenstein.
Don't they already have Monster High dolls?
That's Draculaura, okay. And I forget the Frankenstein's name.
Oh, I did. That was the only one I knew, but it's left my head. I don't remember.
Isn't it just like Frankie?
Yeah, I think it is just Frankie. Yeah.
No, it's gonna be old crusty Dracula and smelly old Frankenstein.
Okay, now I'm picturing Krusty when he does that. Tonight I'm going to suck.
No.
Your blood.
No.
Well, you said Krusty Dracula.
Yeah, I meant more like Nosferatu, the new movie that came out where he's real good and crusty.
Oh, that kind of crusty.
Yeah.
We watched the third episode of Yokai Watch this week, which was written by Yoichi Kato, who also wrote the first 2 episodes. I had kind of forgotten that this show was just a bunch of segments, just a bunch of comedy segments, basically.
Yeah. I think it works better that way than if it was one dedicated episode.
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I just always forget that that's how it is. I always think that it has more of a Pokemon setup, but it doesn't. It's more of a comedy show.
That's why it failed.
Maybe it is.
The children don't want to laugh.
Maybe it was too much of a comedy show.
Where did this air in English?
Disney XD.
Did it get censored at all?
Oh, I mean, we'll get to it.
Okay. Because I'm wondering if that probably didn't help the show.
Yeah, they did censor some things. We'll talk about the dub at the end. I watched both. It starts with a segment called The Rare One, where Keita's mom comes home with some curry bread from Akan Bakery, which was called Banter Bakery in the English game. It's a real place in the game, and this is a real item that you can get from it.
Cool.
And I guess this is a thing in Japan that, like, there are, like, some certain specialty breads that they only make a certain number of a day, and it's, like, a really limited amount that you have to queue up for, because it happens in the Persona game as well. So
I feel like I knew that from watching Japan Eat.
I've never watched Japan Eat. Feels rude.
He's cool. No, he's cool. He's cool. You should watch him.
Oh, okay. I didn't know it was a thing.
He's a YouTuber. I imagine he's probably on TikTok and stuff too, but he just goes around Japan and he eats. He's great.
Oh, that's cool. I wish I could do that. Yeah, so Keita's mom waited in line for 5 hours to get this curry bread, apparently. Once they've eaten it, as they head into Keita's room, Whisper says that the curry bread is connected to a rare yokai, and then he just, like, pauses for a long time.
I don't think anyone truly believes that, including Whisper.
Yeah, he pulls out his yokai pad to look up what it is, because he just kind of announced it with authority, but didn't actually know anything. I laughed. I thought it was pretty funny the way this played out. And he starts talking about Tsuchinoko.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites.
There's a couple of your favorites in this episode.
I know, it's weird.
This is like the episode for Mel.
The dumb fat snake that rolls into a ball.
Yeah, so they don't tell us a whole lot about Tsuchinoko, because I guess this is made for the Japanese audience. They just assume everybody knows. I think Tsuchinoko is one of the most well-known yokai.
Because he's great.
Is it a yokai? I feel like it's more like a cryptid than a traditional yokai.
Yeah, I feel like it's more like a folk monster thing, but you know what? What even really is a yokai?
You know the Tsuchinoko better than I do, so what do you want to explain it?
That it's a big fat snake?
Yeah, tell us about Tsuchinoko. Yeah, Dunsparce is based on it, right?
Yeah.
As well. So it's like a flat, fat snake?
Yeah, it's like orbular.
Orbular?
An orbular snake. Like, it looks like it's eaten a yoga ball.
Is it big and round? I always thought it was like round but flat.
I feel like I've seen it more like round.
Okay.
Orbulous.
Whisper says that Tsuchinoko is so rare that it's nearly impossible even to find someone who's ever seen a Tsuchinoko. And as he's explaining this, the room slowly fills up with more and more Tsuchinoko, which Keita keeps trying to point out, but Whisper keeps insisting there can't be one in the room. Every time he turns around, they disappear. And in the end, there's so many of them that even his yokai pad has been replaced by a Tsuchinoko. And one of them just quietly hands the medal for Tsuchinoko to Keita so he can summon Tsuchinoko in the future, I guess.
Maybe it is more flat, but in my heart, he's round.
Remember when we found one in Monster Hunter World?
Yeah! I forgot all about that!
Yeah, I remember I saw it and I was like, oh, Mel, you have to come over here. Because I knew you were going to be really excited about it.
And I was like, what? I'm trying to kill a big lizard! So mad that I had to go out of my way.
You were
the best.
Yeah, you were happy once you saw what I'd found, though.
Dumb snake.
So Tsuchinoko in the English version of Yokai Watch is just called Noko. Probably something to do with character limits in the names, I would guess.
Shika noko 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 koshtantan?
Yeah. It's played by Yuko Sasamoto, who is known for playing Sakura in the Street Fighter series.
I've been her in Monster Hunter World.
Yeah. And I don't know how to pronounce either of these things, but she was flown in Disgaea or Flone, maybe? I don't know.
I can't answer that question for you.
Sorry, Disgaea fans. I don't know how your things are pronounced.
I've always assumed it was Disgaea, but I cannot confirm.
Yeah, me neither. I think I might own one of them, but I haven't played it.
I think I might also. I've been very interested in the series, but then I'm like, it's going to be a whole commitment.
So, Tsuchinoko is a rare, slippery type yokai in the game.
Slippery?
Yep.
Because he rolls into a ball and rolls away.
I think slippery type yokai are basically just ones with, like, snake-ish bodies. I think Whisper counts as a slippery type yokai as well. When you find it, it runs away a few times and you have to chase it down and find it again.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure exactly what the implication was with the connection between Tsuchinoko and the curry bread. I don't know what the deal was there.
I feel like that it was purely the rarity of it.
Oh, yeah, okay. That makes sense. All right, yeah, you puzzled it out, I think.
Anytime I've had to deal with a Tsuchinoko, it always slithered. Well, it doesn't even slither away. A lot of times it digs away. It was a rare monster in Aria of Sorrow. And it would only sometimes appear in one room.
Was that your first experience with one?
I think so. I was like, what the hell is that weird little thing? Because, like, the first time I went in that room, you just see, like, digging in the ground and nothing comes out. But sometimes it's a big fat snake. I feel like if you equip its soul, it gives you, like, luck or something. I have no idea. It's been so long since I played Aria of Sorrow.
Oh, that's cool. Thanks, Castlevania.
Yeah. Thank you for all that you do.
Anyway, that's the end of the Tsuchinoko segment. He won't come up again for the rest of the episode.
Yeah, very sad about it.
We can't be too sad about Tsuchinoko leaving, because the rest of the episode is very focused on jinmenken.
Another one of my favorites. It's so stupid.
So, in the morning, Whisper terrifies Keita by sleeping like a freak. His like eyes are open and rolled back in his head, and he's making this horrible wheezing sound. But that's just how he always sleeps, apparently. That's just normal.
Yeah.
I don't remember the Japanese names of Keita's friends, so I'm going to call them by their English names. But Eddie and Bear are talking about rumors of a jinmenken in the area. Bear doesn't believe it, but Katie says that she saw it herself.
Which means it's very powerful.
It terrified her, and she wishes someone would get rid of it. So Keita obviously immediately goes searching for it that night. because he wants a kiss.
Obviously.
From the girl. Yeah, he doesn't deny it. Whisper accuses him of doing it for that reason. That's Whisper tells us what you just said, that because Katie could see it without a yokai watch, that means it's a very powerful yokai. And if Keita gets bitten by the jinmenken, then he'll become a jinmenken too.
I just love the thought that this middle-aged man is a powerful yokai.
Yeah, but it's proven to be true because everybody can see him.
Yeah.
He's the only yokai in the whole show so far who can be seen by anyone other than Keita.
But I have yet to see him do anything powerful.
Yeah. I don't think, like, I feel like powerful isn't really a concern for this show as it's presented to us here. Yeah, we see jinmenken. At first they think it's just a toy poodle, but then they realize it's a toy poodle with the face of an old man.
With a horrible face.
So jinmenken is played by Naoki Bando, who mostly seems to have had pretty small roles, but plays a lot of different yokai in this show. And also plays Gato in Naruto.
I don't remember who that is.
Me neither. I have no idea. But he was in multiple different Naruto things, so I guess he's an important character.
Naruto.
In English, jinmenken is called Manjimat, and he's played by Paul Greenberg, who we talked about before on this show, because he played Bear and Happy Air in the English version of this. Do you remember Happy Air?
All the voices, vaguely.
The yellow cloud guy that makes people happy?
I mostly remember Dismeralda.
Yeah, Happy Air was her wife. Her husband, I mean. Yeah, so Manjimat is an eerie type yokai.
Ooh.
And he makes a bunch of dad jokes. They're not good ones.
I loved that.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, dad jokes. You really are an old man.
I really liked him in general. He's my favorite thing about this show.
He's pretty great.
He is just like very depressed. He's very depressed, but not in like an Eeyore kind of way. Just he's like quite resigned to it, and he's not trying to bring anybody else down. It's just
it's a very salaryman kind of way. It's
yeah.
like, well, this is my lot now.
I guess so. I loved he's just sitting like on the grass watching the shooting stars as they're trying to talk to him.
It's very dramatic for this old man.
So he takes them to a nearby Oden stand where he orders a glass of sake and orders some juice for Nathan Whisper while he regales
where he's a
them.
regular.
Yeah, where he's a regular. The guy who owns the Oden stand knows him and can see him as well. So we get his whole backstory. He was an ordinary salaryman who was laid off from his job of 32 years, got drunk at this exact same Oden, and then on the way home, a pile of lumber fell, crushing both him and a toy poodle. And when he woke up, he was a jinmenken.
Is that how that works?
I mean, I guess so. I mean, we saw the math, literally. We see his transformation into a jinmenken presented as a math equation.
Yeah, but does the math is what I'm asking.
What was it? It was like salaryman plus toy poodle times lumber.
Times boards equals jinmenken.
At first he thought this would be better because people love dogs, but people still treated him as an old man.
Yeah, because look at his face.
I know, it's so funny though that he's got a dog body, but it seems like a lot of people don't actually see the dog body. They just see the old man face and treat him like an old man.
He does get arrested for public urination.
Yeah. He leaves the stand to go pee on a wall by... Was it a bus stop he was at or something? There was a sign.
I didn't pay that much attention.
The police show up, but he insists he's just a dog, but the cops don't buy it, and they arrest him. And as he's being dragged away, he hands Nate his yokai medal. And that's the end of the segment.
I know we'll get into it more later, but when they talk about summoning him, they're like, we're gonna have to summon jinmenken from prison.
Yeah. Oh, it was really good. I thought it was really funny. The jinmenken segment was my favorite part of this episode and maybe the whole show so far. Just he's a really good character.
He is. I enjoy him.
I wonder about his family because he said he had a wife and 2 daughters.
They're rebellious teenagers, though. They probably don't even notice he's gone.
Maybe. Because they've been inspirited by the Gurerurin.
No, they're just teenagers.
Okay. Anyway, the next segment is called It's You, Gurerurin.
You can't blame everything on yokai, Mike.
Yes, I can. The show does it. And the game.
I know it's not cheek squeak every time, okay?
Listen. Yeah, it is. So we're at school for this segment, and Bear is worried because Eddie is becoming a delinquent. He's squatting down. You can see his butt crack. He starts wearing sunglasses.
Well, they're not quite sunglasses. He steals somebody's prescription glasses and Sharpies over them.
Yeah, that's accurate. Keita figures it must be a yokai, so using his yokai watch, he spots Gurerurin, inspiriting Eddie. Gurerurin is played by Naoki Bando again, same guy who plays Manjimat, jinmenken. So I just realized that means that he's talking to himself for a chunk of this.
Yeah, he has a showdown with himself.
Yeah. Gurerurin in the English version is called Ruffraff, and he's played by Brent Pendergrass, who also plays Eddie.
Cool.
So we've talked about him last time.
Cool.
It's a tough type yokai, and Whisper says 98% of delinquents are delinquents because of Gurerurin. So you think that Jinmenken's two daughters are part of the 2%?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair, I suppose.
Well, because Whisper tells us that it's just like for a short period of their life, and then they grow up and they look back on it and are embarrassed, so.
Yeah. Gureru apparently means to turn delinquent or fall in with the wrong crowd. So that's where its name comes from.
Cool.
This yokai is... If you've watched much anime or played a lot of Japanese games set in Japan...
You know this guy.
You immediately recognize this yokai as like the stereotypical Japanese delinquent.
Well, his pompadour is 3 times the length of his body. It's impossible not to.
Even just his stance, though, he's always in that like crouched delinquent stance that you always see.
I'm so curious how that came to be.
Me too.
The Japanese delinquent archetype fascinates me.
Yeah, because it's everything, right? They're always crouched like that.
Mm-hmm. They've got the bandaged, not even chest, it's just their stomach.
Yeah, the midsection.
Yeah. The pompadour, the gait.
Yeah, the part where he's like walking down the street, Eddie's walking down the street and just puts his foot up on the wall. I was like, yeah, I've seen delinquents do that in like every piece of media, but I don't know why. Apparently, Gurerurin also draws from Imori, a gecko yokai inhabited by the souls of dead warriors. They gang up on people who get too close to the ruins of old castles, apparently.
Why would you cram your whole soul inside of a little gecko?
Geckos are cool.
I love geckos. I just don't see them as particularly threatening. And if you're a dead warrior, like,
well,
it wouldn't be the first place I'd go.
Maybe that's why they choose the gecko, because it's like, yeah,
No
nobody
one
suspects
expects
the gecko.
butterfly.
Exactly. So Gurerurin kind of like turns his legs into a motorbike and drives away to the river.
Yeah, he's a delinquent. He has to have his wheels.
And Keita and Whisper chase him because they have to defeat him to rescue Eddie from the delinquent lifestyle. So they summon Jibanyan to fight, but Gurerurin fuses with Jibanyan.
Oh, I love Warunyan.
Yeah, they create Warunyan.
What a dumb thing.
Warunyan is a charming type yokai that in the game you do obtain this yokai by fusing Jibanyan and Ruffraff together. So
I love it.
in English he's called Badinyan, which I don't like.
Yeah, it doesn't flow off the tongue the same way.
No. I mean, it is, I guess, a literal translation of the name, but don't need to translate it. You didn't translate Jibanyan.
If it was a literal translation, it would be bad meow, which I actually like a lot better.
I suppose so, yeah. I don't even know what Jibanyan means. Oh, I mean, apart from the nyan part, but I don't know what the Jiban comes from.
I feel like I should know, but I don't.
So Warunyan displays how bad he is now by eating 2 chocolate bars at once right before dinner and eating in bed and throwing the garbage on the ground.
So as I was watching this episode, I was eating goldfish crackers in bed. It's like, oh no. The delinquent lifestyle has consumed me as well.
And then to top it all off, he has chocolate all over his hands and face, and he refuses to wash them or brush his teeth. And Whisper is scandalized in turn by each of these actions.
It's great.
It's really good. I liked it. So yeah, since Jibanyan isn't helping, because he's a delinquent now, they summon Jinmenken from jail, where he arrives with part of the cell.
And even though it's just a singular wall, he refuses to leave it.
Yeah, and Whisper picks the lock to let him out, even though they could just like walk around. It's only the cell bars that came. The walls didn't come.
Whisper uses his creepy little swirl as a lock, or as a key, and picks the lock.
Yeah, it worked.
It's dumb.
Yeah, I love he comes out and then he sees who they want him to fight and he just locks himself back in and he's like, I'm not very good. I don't know why you summoned me.
He's just an old man. What's he gonna do?
But Keita convinces him by saying he's the only adult they can rely on. I guess he is the only adult yokai that they have.
Is Happy Air not an adult?
Well, I guess so. He is married. I don't know. Yeah, Happy Air and Dismeralda are a married couple, so they're presumably both adults.
Yeah.
I feel like they forgot about those two already.
I think they did.
Wait, don't they have the old lady one as well?
Oh yeah! I forgot about her.
Tattletale, that's an English name. Yeah, there's all kinds of people they could have summoned. But no, they've got their heart set on Jinmenken, the one who's in jail. So anyway, they convince him to come out and fight, and the two of them fight until sunset when they finally settle their differences and become friends. I guess they don't get the medal for Gurerurin, huh?
No.
He just leaves.
They didn't best him in combat. They haven't earned it.
But it's fine. The next day, Eddie is back to normal. Jinmenken goes back to jail where he gets in trouble for escaping.
But if he behaves, he'll be out soon.
Yeah, now we get the final segment, which is very short, which is called Jinmenken Part 2, where Jinmenken is given his meal in jail and told he'll be released soon if he behaves. And he laments his lost youth. Then he catches sight of the want ads on the back of the newspaper and thinks about getting a job. And we're told that this will be continued. And I have looked ahead a little bit, and I think there are a lot of episodes coming up. I don't know about every episode, but a lot of the episodes after this end with a Jinmenken segment, just like following his life moving forward. So that's good.
Yeah. I know at the end of this it shows a little bit of a Jinmenken Part 3.
Yeah, that's the end of the episode proper. There's a couple of little segments that happen at the end here. This first one, where it's like the yokai search thing, they're clearly trying to do like a Who's That Pokemon segment, but this is based on the way you actually search for yokai in the game. So you'll get like, you'll be looking at an area and you just kind of like move the lens around, and then inside the lens you'll spot a yokai. It doesn't quite work that way in this. I was watching the lens the whole time being like, where's the yokai gonna appear in the lens? But the yokai appeared outside of the lens.
Where's the yokai gonna appear in the lens? It has to appear in the lens.
Well, like, what's the point of the lens if the yokai's not gonna appear in it?
Giggles.
I didn't think this was good. Like I could barely see the yokai, and then when I did notice it, I couldn't tell what it was until they told me. It's just a little black shape moving around behind the bushes. Dumb. Not as good as Who's That Pokemon.
Isn't there... What's the name of the handsome Jinmenken?
I don't remember. That's the, like, rare form of it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know if you fuse two Jinmenken together, you get... I don't know what the Japanese name of it is, but the English name is Multimut. It's a two-headed Jinmenken.
Is it of the same head twice?
Yeah.
Good. That's not quite the same head.
It's the same head as itself. Like, the two heads are the same.
No, I wanted the same dowdy old man face
okay,
twice.
You wanted this Jinmenken head. Yeah, I think it's a bit of an angrier head.
Yeah. Dan Doodle.
Is that the handsome one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, there it is. I never had a Dan Doodle. in the game, but I knew about it.
You couldn't get the rare one.
No, I didn't have many rare yokai. They're really hard to get.
Sounds like loser talk.
There were eight other yokai you had to get to unlock Dan Doodle.
And you didn't?
No, I
Coward?
didn't. I didn't. I didn't get all the yokai. I didn't complete my yokai decks.
Wow.
Well, maybe I'll go back. If you're gonna treat me like a scrub.
I am. You've been spending years trying to get me to play these games, and you haven't even got all the yokai? You expect me to listen to some scrub?
I finished the first game. I don't have any of the others, though.
You didn't complete your Pokedex?
Yeah, I did. My Pokedex completed. I didn't complete my yokai decks.
Yeah, your Pokedex.
Speaking of, we get a tiny little yokai encyclopedia segment explaining the new yokai of today. I think I only explains the ones that Keita actually got medals for, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it shows Tsuchinoko, Jinmenken. I feel like there was a third one it showed. Maybe it did show Gurerurin, but I don't think he got the medal for Gurerurin. So maybe he did. Maybe he did if it showed it here. And then there's the little preview of the next episode. So we can see that we're going to see Hungramps and Wazat.
Hungramps?
Yeah, he's a little grandpa that makes you hungry.
He needs to quit it.
Oh, are you being inspirited by Hungramps?
I mean, every day of my life I get hungry and I'm mad about it.
Yeah. And Wazat's like a hat that makes you forget things.
Every day of my life.
I'm telling you. Everything's yokai. Everything's because of a yokai.
So if I could just find a small child to kill all of the yokai.
Yeah, then you'll never have a problem again. There's even a yokai that makes you pee. His name's Fidgefant. You see him in the opening. You see a kid running to the bathroom with a Fidgefant running next to him.
I love yokai because that really do be how the Japanese create yokai.
Yeah, I know.
I heard a noise in the woods that sounded like somebody washing beans. It must have been the bean washing yokai.
I stepped in dog poop. It must have been the dog poop yokai.
No, honey, it wasn't me. It was the cheek squeak.
I had a bad dream. It must have been the one-eyed umbrella that floats in the window and stares at you while you sleep.
That umbrella only exists because somebody forgot their umbrella on a train and 100 years later it came to life.
Well, that's what Wazat is as well. It's a hat that somebody forgot and, and came to life.
I mean, Tsukumogami are their own branch of yokai.
Yeah.
Anything that exists has one.
Yeah.
I unless it's electronic, because I don't think they like inhabiting electronic things. But I feel like
really?
nowadays they've probably changed their mind on that.
Yeah, it's been long enough that they're like used to them now. Like, okay. All right, I don't mind inspiriting this Game Boy.
That's what we're gonna make our creepypasta about. A yokai Game Boy.
Yeah, that's a good one. It eats batteries.
Yes, it does. That would be a Game Gear.
I
We
was
had to
just
plug
gonna
in like
say that.
a D battery, a car battery to fuel it for 30 minutes.
And then the car never works again.
The battery is so drained it can never come back.
Well, you asked me about censorship in this.
Yeah, because Jinmenken gets drunk a couple times.
Are you ready to hear about what I noticed in the dub?
Yeah.
First of all, they kept all the Japanese music, which is nice. I like that.
Yeah.
When Nate's mom brings home the curry bread, it's not curry bread anymore.
Is it a donut?
No, it's whoopie pie now.
I love whoopie pies.
They didn't change how it looks at all, but they say it's whoopie pie. What is whoopie pie? I don't even know.
It's delicious.
Oh, okay.
That's a big family thing for us. It's like a birthday thing.
Okay. Yeah, it sure didn't look like a whoopie pie that she gave him.
I mean, if it's from the top or something, maybe, and you don't see the goodness.
Maybe. It's
being
weird though,
sandwiched
because
between.
they went to the effort of getting the correct localized name of the bakery from the game. So she says she's been to Banter Bakery, and it says Banter Bakery on the package. But in the game, they still call this curry bread. So I don't know why this change has been made. Also, this seems like such a weird series for them to try and de-Japanify, you know?
Yeah, something that's pretty exclusively Japanese.
Yeah. We don't want the kids to realize that Yokai Watch is set in Japan.
These are American monsters for American children.
In the Japanese one, I'm pretty sure the baker wasn't named. Like, we see a shot of the baker making the curry bread and being very discerning about which ones are good enough. I'm sure they just call him, like, the old master or whatever. They don't actually give him a name. In the dub, he's named Mr. Piehole.
Mr. Piehole.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no exact time frame given in the dub for how long Mom stood in line. We know that she stood there for 5 hours in the Japanese version, but she just says she stood in line for a long time in English. And Whisper doesn't connect the curry bread to the Noko in the dub. He just starts talking about rare yokai out of nowhere, which makes the whole bread thing kind of pointless.
Does it? Because Keita got some delicious curry bread.
I mean, yeah. And I wanted to eat some curry bread after seeing it.
Yeah. I also really want to eat these dang whoopie pies.
Yeah, I'm looking at pictures of them and I want some too.
They're so good.
Where's mine?
Wait for your birthday and then demand them.
Oh, I found a recipe for them.
They're very... What's the word I'm looking for? They take a long time to make. They're difficult to make in that it's just time consuming.
Oh, yeah? It says here about an hour to make
About
12.
an hour?
Yeah, 30 minutes preparation time and 10 to 30 minutes cooking time. According to the BBC.
I don't trust the BBC.
Yeah, me neither.
Maybe it's not. Maybe that's just an excuse I was always given as a kid when I would constantly demand whoopie pies. It's like, no, they take too long to make. Like, but I want 5,000.
Come over, let's make whoopie pies.
Well, like, you have to wait for them to cool down before you can frost them.
Okay, fine. You're off the hook. See, now you're doing it to me. You're doing what your family did to you, to me.
Yeah, I'm passing on the generational trauma. You only get whoopie pies for your birthday. Go shut up and play outside.
So you get what? You get homemade whoopie pies for your birthday?
Yeah.
Damn. I guess my mom used to make me a cake every year when I was a kid. But not no more.
Yeah, not no more.
Here's a change that you're going to be sad about.
What?
Mangy Mutt doesn't make dad jokes anymore in the dub.
What's the point of being an old man if you're not going to make old man jokes?
I know. I think I honestly think it's mostly just because they wanted to cut the shot that had the yen bill in it. Because
stupid.
The first dad joke he makes is combining sumimasen, which means excuse me, and yen. And then as he says that, a picture of a yen bill appears on the screen, and they cut that whole shot. So I think with that shot cut, they were like, well, now we don't even need the dad joke.
Like, I would think that being able to tell dad jokes is one of the few perks of becoming an old man.
I mean, you say that, but I feel like we've been doing dad jokes since we were teenagers.
I've been an old man since I was a teenager.
Oh, okay. You're right.
I am a jinmenken.
For the most part, though, in this episode in general, I was surprised at how faithfully the jokes were translated.
Yeah.
Like, most of the jokes play out exactly as they did in Japanese. And that's good, because they were funny jokes.
But does jinmenken get drunk?
Yes, but they don't say it, but they still show all of it.
Right, that was a big chunk. of him like staggering home with a tie on his head?
Yeah, so first of all, the Oden sign has been painted over, so it's just blank. It doesn't say Oden anymore. When Manjimat orders his sake in the dub, he actually asks for a glass of toilet water.
Oh, because he's a dog.
Yeah, get it? And the juice has been changed to orange soda, but that's not a big change. In the original, Manjimat had 2 daughters, but in the dub, he only has 1 for some reason. I don't know why they changed
What
that.
happened to the other one?
I don't know. It's such an odd thing to change. But yeah, this is the part I was surprised about, because all of the shots of him getting drunk at the Oden are still there. But when he's like dancing his way down the street, instead of saying that he was drunk, he says that he was out of his mind with grief. Which does not look like what's happening.
No, he's quite happy.
They didn't do anything visually to the shots of him going away to pee, but when he announces he's going to go pee, his mouth still moves, but he doesn't say anything.
Okay.
And there's no tinkling
Are we supposed
sound.
to assume that he just gets arrested for loitering?
Yeah, so the cops are meaner when they show up than they were in the original. For some reason, they're already familiar with him.
He's a serial loiterer.
Yeah, they call him a freak show. And when they bundle... Because they're quite polite to him in the Japanese version.
Yeah.
But they're pretty mean to him in English. And as they throw him into the car, he says that it's yokai profiling.
Wow.
Yeah. And as he's being driven away, Nate and Whisper have new lines where they just talk about getting food after this.
I'm still hungry. Want to grab a bite? I could eat.
All right, that was weird. Anyway.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. It was pretty funny.
They were just at an Oden. Get some noodles.
Oh, man, I want some noodles. You know what else got changed?
No.
Butt crack.
They got rid of the butt crack,
Yeah,
but that's how you know he's
They
possessed.
painted over Eddie's butt crack when he was being a delinquent. But Bear still says you can see his butt crack. There's like a close-up of his underwear-covered butt where Bear says you can see his butt crack.
Weird.
It is weird. Like they didn't... Why wouldn't you rewrite it?
You know, underneath those underpants, there's a butt crack.
Also, the part where he puts his leg up on the wall, they had him in the dub singing a song that made me laugh.
I don't care about nothing at all. Now I'm gonna kick this wall.
Stupid.
It made me chuckle. Because I don't know why he was kicking the wall either, but the song explained it perfectly.
Because he's a ruffian. He's a hooligan.
And the last thing I noticed was that they completely changed the newspaper that Manjimat looks at the end.
Yeah.
Which is weird, because neither version is really readable anyway. You see it for like a second.
I had no idea what I was looking at.
No, me neither. And it's not any clearer in the dub's new version. The only difference is that if you get on your knees in front of the TV and squint really hard, you could see some English text. But none of it's important, so like, I don't know. I don't know why they bothered. They were really scared that an American child would see a kanji.
Yeah. They might have ideas, Mike.
Yeah, so that's it. What did you think of this
Cool.
episode?
I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, I actually liked it a lot. It was good.
Yeah. I had a good time.
Because I feel like we've been unsure about this show up until now.
Yeah. I'm still unsure.
We've been kind of on the fence about it, but I think Manjimat is, and knowing that Manjimat is going to be a mainstay as well of the show, that we're going to get a lot of jinmenken moving forward, gives me more confidence in watching more of this show.
True.
I think they zeroed in really early on him being a very funny character that they could get a lot of mileage out of.
Just an old man that they hang out with.
I know, it's so funny. Like, Jibanyan is the mascot character, but he's barely in this episode. And Jinmenken was all over it.
I want more Warunyan.
Yeah, me too.
I demand more.
I don't know if we'll get more Warunyan, but I did enjoy it. Legacy, did I hear?
I didn't ask that.
Oh, well, I got something to say, because I this is something like I should have talked about probably in the first episode, but I don't think I realized it until now. Or maybe I've talked about it
What?
before and I just forgot. But there is a legacy of this show that I noticed watching this episode, because Whisper has this yokai pad thing, which didn't exist in the first game, but from the second game onwards, it's in the games and it functions as your menu system.
Wow.
So that's a legacy of this show, the yokai pad.
Wow.
I know.
The Pokedex.
No, that's the yokai encyclopedia, which is a different thing.
The Pokedex.
Well, I think we've done all the damage we can do for one night.
Never say that.
Thanks for joining us, everybody.
What he said.
Thank you to our patrons, Mark Kelly and Jamie Core.
Freaks. Every week when it rolls around and I see you're still here, my ghast is flabbered. And I call the
You're
police.
getting your ghast flabbered? That's not in the budget.
Well, it is with 2 patrons.
If you'd like to join our 2 friends in the patron list, then you can head to patreon.com/superbreakfastfriendsclub and say hi.
Or just don't.
I'm Skull Pirate Mike, and I be streaming. I be streaming at least 3 times a week. If I have my druthers.
It's a sickness.
Come find me on Twitch. Come find me on YouTube. Come find me on Blue Sky. Come find me. Track me down.
Yeah, go look for him. I will not be found.
There is no Mel for you to find elsewhere on the internet. You will find Mel exclusively where I am found, but not very often.
As it turns out, I am a yokai that you can only see through a yokai watch. And Mike has it.
What yokai? What do you cause?
Mayhem.
Whenever there's mayhem, you know that Mel's around. I think you're a yokai that makes me play Monster Hunter.
I don't make you do anything. I play Monster Hunter, and then all of a sudden, you've joined my lobby.
Excuse me. Wait, I guess I'm the yokai that made you play Monster Hunter now that I think about it.
Yeah.
'Cause-
Don't drag me into your filth.
Bye. You see this guy?
What a nerd. That's you.
That's not me.
It is.
No. How dare you? We should probably stop the recording.
Please.